Having superpowers or supernatural abilities is pretty common in media now. You have the classic powers like flight, enhanced physical capabilities like speed or strength, and some unique ones like gravity manipulation, x ray vision, and more. Some of these aren't obviously better than others, like teleportation is more versatile than flight, but I want to break these down on a scientific level and explain why some of these are much better than others. Let's start with the first power I said. Flight. It is super cool to think about having the ability to fly. I mean, you could be like Superman or Adam Warlock or the countless other superheroes that fly. In practice, though, it's not that helpful. Sure, you can avoid traffic and now because you can just fly over it, but I can't exactly think of a reason I would use it. Even when you do use it to avoid traffic, you can only go so fast. If you can only fly as fast as you can run, then you're better off using your car anyways. Moving on to body enhancements like super speed, strength, reflectiveness, and intelligence. The best of those four is intelligence. Sure, it would be nice to have one of the other three, but they aren't practical. Similar to flight, there isn't much use to be inhumanly strong or fast. The only use for super speed and practical use will be getting to work, but you don't have the super reflexes, so you'll just run into a wall. Even if you do have the reflexes to go at super speed, you would probably feel a lot of pressure as you run, creating whatever is on screen now. Not to mention, the sound of it going that speed will ruin the eardrums of those you run by. Strength is just useless in modern day unless you have a job that requires a lot of lifting. Intelligence is the only useful one because you can actually use it to figure out what would be the best way to get to work, solve a problem, or whatever else you have. There aren't any real drawbacks to having super intelligence. Some abilities that don't have much use outside of cool party tricks are things like X-ray vision, invisibility, water or liquid manipulation, shapeshifting, and maybe gravity manipulation. The first four don't have any practical use, at least none that I could think of, but gravity manipulation could be used like a type of flight or telekinesis, but outside of that, it isn't that useful. Some abilities that could be useful are telekinesis, mind reading, photography, pyrokinesis, and earthbending. Telekinesis can be used constantly to make your life easier. You can get a drink out of the fridge while you sit on the couch. You can get something off the top shelf without help, and probably do your chores while you relax, if you are good enough at multitasking, that is. Mind reading is also useful if you have trust issues, but that can also just be a party trick. Photography can be helpful for those who know exactly what they want to draw but have no clue how to, like me. Pyrokinesis it might seem useless at first, but it can be extremely helpful. The most specific use is starting fires when out camping, but you can use it outside of that too. If you're cold, then you create a nice warm fire around you to keep you warm, and if your car is snowed in, then you can warm up the snow around it. Definitely not the best, but it is useful. Earthbending can also be seen as useless, but if you control metal like Toph Beifong, then it can be extremely useful in modern day since a lot of things we have are made out of metal now. There are some abilities that are extremely useful but don't get talked about enough. Things that like probability manipulation, bodily chemical manipulation, and memory manipulation. Now I know I just said manipulation three times and I might sound like a bad guy right now, but hear me out. If you're like me, then you have really bad luck and are tempted to get one more loot box. That's where probability manipulation comes in handy. You can alter the probability of getting a legendary for yourself, or the probability of your friends getting a rare. This can be used outside of games and casinos too. If you ever think about asking out your crush and think there's no chance they'll say yes, then you can use this ability where there is a chance. The drawbacks that I want to point out in this ability are similar to the episode in The Twilight Zone, A Nice Place to Visit. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's in that episode. Someone is constantly winning and can't lose. At first it seems great, but it quickly becomes something that he can't stand. If you're always winning it, then there's no longer fun or excitement in doing the thing. Memory manipulation can be similar in a sense. While you can alter the memory of people, making them think you are a lot cooler than you actually are, this could cause a lot of self-doubt in yourself and make you lose your originality. Bodily chemical manipulation is something I haven't seen or heard anyone else talk about, so let me explain. I've seen chemical manipulation before, but I haven't seen any that directly affect the body. Chemical manipulation is the ability to alter the chemical compound of something to make it something else, such as a toxin into a suit of armor. Chemical manipulation could be better than the bodily chemical manipulation, because it will have the same abilities and more. But I don't know enough about chemistry to properly know. Bodily chemical manipulation will allow you to alter the chemicals inside someone, if you couldn't tell by the name. While that might sound dumb, this is actually extremely useful. Everything that makes your body work, from your memories to your muscles, is just chemical reactions. So if you have this ability, you can alter memories, emotions, muscle growth, intelligence, and physical and emotional traits. You can make someone who once hated you love you. You can replace all bad memories with good ones. You can make yourself stronger and smarter, and cure any mental illness that you or someone else has. This is like having half of the abilities I mentioned before. The only drawback to this ability is having the immense knowledge of how the body works. Sure, you can make someone stronger, but you could also accidentally kill them if you don't know what you're doing. There are a handful of abilities that have daily use and could be extremely convenient, but outside of a single purpose, there isn't much use for them. The powers that come to mind is teleportation or portal creation. This is probably the best ability that someone could get in the modern day, and for good reason. You can use this daily, it makes life easier, and you can avoid all the problems of going through an airport. If given the ability to claim any superpower, you should probably gain this one for just how useful it will be. There's just one problem. If you're switching places to with whatever you want, then it's fine. But if you're teleporting by just spawning yourself in the location, then there will be a moment where the location you left has nothing there. This will cause some problems, such as extreme heat, a very loud boom, and probably more things that I'm just too dumb to know about. So all those times you see someone teleporting, they're just switching places with the air there instead. Now, I said at the beginning that I will explain how some powers will be much better than others, and we are here now. Other powers before are convenient, sure, but they are mostly pointless in comparison to these. The ability to create whatever you're thinking, making gourmet food, clairvoyance, disease immunity, toxin sorter, and luck. Let's break each of these down, starting with the ability to create what you think. I know I'm not the only one, but whenever I get an image in my head and go, that looks awesome, and I want to draw that, then I go to draw it and it looks like garbage. With this ability, it will look exactly how you think it would look. This ability sounds perfect good for someone like me because I have so many ideas and want to draw all these things, but I can't, so I just pay someone else to do it for me. This is kind of similar to the previously mentioned photography. Clairvoyance is a no-brainer. This ability can be used for anything. You can see into the future, seeing if Baskin Robbins still has Rocky Road, or you can use it to find out where the TV remote went. You can plan your day out perfectly and will never have to spend an hour trying to find where your phone went. Moving on, we have some abilities that you probably don't know about, like making gourmet food, disease immunity, and toxic sorting. There are things that have these abilities, like eat before you go for making gourmet food, even though that's not technically his power. There are also other media that I can think of right now that have powers that allow people to be immune to diseases or drink polluted water and dispose of the toxins in it. While not common, they are useful. The reason you probably don't hear about them is because it's hard to make a good story revolving around it. Luck is the most underrated superpower of all and is often seen in a comedic light. I remember seeing one video of someone with a bounty on his head but kept living because he had to tie a shoe. He spilled the poison coffee on himself or something. If I find it, it will be on screen, but this power is extremely underrated. People probably associate the superpower of luck with gambling, but think of it like the probability manipulation I talked about earlier. It's extremely useful. There are so many more powers I could talk about, but I need to get this video out, so this is where I will stop for now. But I will gladly talk about more powers such as necromancy, astral projection, or even shadow stepping. This is the end of the video, so if you want to leave you can, but for those that stay, I want to say thank you. Last month was amazing and it was all thanks to all of you. Sure, there are only 66 of you right now, but the support that you have given has been so nice. And don't think your comments are going unnoticed. I read the comments and you should leave them because I will be continuing a series soon where I use your comments. If you want to know more, then check the video on top where I created goblin lore using the help of a commenter, or you can check out my latest video on the bottom. Regardless, thank you for all the support and I'll see you in the next one.